Okay, happy Sunday. Welcome to live Q&A. It's Andrew Spirit here, and this is just a quick live for anybody who has spiritual development questions, just wants to have an info share. I'd be happy to share whatever I'm able to on certain topics, such as connecting with guides and angels, energy work, meditation, intuitive Reiki, how psychic mediums work, or at least some of them. Anything along those lines. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer myself, so I do offer one-on-ones. I also do mentoring, spiritual development classes, and I facilitate meditation circles. So if you have any interest in that, you're welcome to post your questions during the live, and I'll be happy to share with you whatever I can. If you're looking for some other online resources, some spiritual development groups to join, I can happily suggest them for you. Hi, Mel. So I have my website in the comments as well if you'd like to read up more about me personally. It has a bit more info about who I am and what I do and what I teach. You can also catch me live on Facebook every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Thursdays, I channel psychic messages to some of the people tuning in. It's by divine order, so it's whoever I'm randomly guided to. So check me out on Facebook as well. There are links to it on my webpage. So, excuse me. Thursdays is always psychic messages on Facebook. Sundays on YouTube. I try to do a live every Sunday, roughly between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Toronto time. I try to give a heads up on my Facebook page when I'm going to go on, but it's best to probably just subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get notified when the live begins. You can also subscribe to the Facebook page, but I will try and give a heads up wherever I can. So if you have questions, spiritual development topics, Reiki, intuitive healing, how psychic mediums work, energy healing, connecting with guides, angels, just post your questions in the comments. If you have topics of interest you'd like to recommend, please share as well. I'll be happy to cover some of those, whatever the general interest is. So anything along the lines of spiritual development, please post your questions, share, invite anyone else who might be interested. Also, if you're looking for some online Facebook groups to join that are more spiritually inclined, that have healers, mediums, and offer information like that, I can recommend quite a few. So I'm located in Brockville, Eastern Ontario, and I enjoy connecting with people all over the world. So if any of that interests you, let me know, check it out, visit my website and Facebook. I usually hang around online to see if there's any questions or interests. So please post if you have any topics of interest you'd like me to cover. I'll share with you whatever I can. So, okay, Mel, let me just take a look at your question here. Twin flame journey. Yep, this is definitely along those lines. So, twin flame. I'm going to try and dig up an article I had saved somewhere on my computer, but basically, to get back to answer your question, you want to know about the twin flame journey. Okay, so from what I've gathered and understand, twin flame is not exactly the same as a soulmate. Twin flame is more, it can be basically just your masculine and your feminine energy. So you can be a twin flame just as a single person and have male and female energy that you are either trying to balance out, work on, evolve, heal, improve. So basically, if I am understanding your question, let me know if I'm going off track or not. But with regards to the separation and working on divine self, so over the last few years, from what I've gathered, some males have needed to kind of flip over and tap into their feminine side and get more acquainted with their feminine energy so they can become more balanced, and vice versa. Some women have found that they've been stepping more into their male energy and trying to balance that out and basically get more in touch with your overall self, both male and female, energetically speaking. So when you work on divine self, you have male and female aspects or energies, and some can be physically in a male body, but they can be more dominantly female with their energy, and vice versa. So depending on where you're at, you may need to work on more on your male or your female energy at this point, depending on what you've worked on before and where you're at right now. So let me know if that's helping at least a little bit, Mel, and if you want to sort of just dissect a bit more and go deeper into that. But let me know where you're at so far, whether that's helping and making enough sense. And if you want to ask, any other related questions to that, we can just keep digging and getting more, see how much more we can get from that. So let me know so far if that's helped. Okay. Okay, yeah, that sounds quite, I can totally relate to that. I get the same thing. So basically with me, and it could quite likely be with you, your energy does things to people and for people that you're not always going to be aware of. So people are drawn to you with synchronicity. There's no accidents. It's not by chance. What you need to work on, if you're not already familiar with, is how to keep yourself grounded and your energy, your field protected. So grounding and protecting techniques, especially when you're in busy or public places, depending on how much of an empath you are, if you tend to feel energy very much from other people, and if it bothers you or if it's hard for you. But basically, when people come to you, you can basically practice putting a bubble around your energy, around your aura, protecting it, staying grounded, practicing grounding techniques often. If you want to develop more, you can also decide whether you want to try Reiki and or doing psychic messages. You could do both. Reiki, basically, it's pretty easy to get Reiki certified nowadays if that's something you're interested in, or you could choose a different modality. Do energy healings. I do intuitive Reiki. I also do psychic mediumship readings. So you can learn and practice these things. If you're interested in reading people's energy, how I started is you first do it with close friends, like-minded people that are willing to let you connect with their energy and try and read their energy. Start off with that. If you like it or if you're comfortable with it, start doing it for friends of friends and just let them give you feedback in exchange for you reading their energy. And you'll get an idea of their validation, how accurate it is, how helpful it is. So you can do energy reading. You can also do energy healing like Reiki, and just use friends and like guinea pigs. Just offer them, free energy healing, see what they think. Find people who are open to that, like-minded, that are willing to let you work with their energy. And then you'll get more of a feel as to what you're drawn to and what you don't like. So that's how I kind of got into where I am now. I did a lot of that. So practice. It's like just practice makes perfect. Okay, so it's a good thing. Okay, it doesn't bother you. That's great. I was wondering if this connects with. Okay, level 1. Okay, perfect. So so everything is connected. Everything is energy. When you heal other people in a way, you also get a healing. Like energy Reiki practitioners, if they connect and ground themselves properly, because they're giving a healing, they're also a channel. So the healing energy is going through them first towards the recipient. So giving healings, when you're doing energy work, it helps you as well. Gives you more clarity. You learn a lot more from people's energy. It helps you with your evolution. The more you do and give others, the better for yourself. So it can definitely help you with your twin flame journey. It can help you balance your own energies. You learn a lot from people, especially when just about every reading I do, every reading and healing, you're going to learn something. So it's absolutely beneficial. There's no downside really to doing energy work at all, unless you overdo it and burn yourself out. But that's pretty hard to do. You'd have to be doing it. Okay. Okay, Mel, the camera is back on, so let me know if you can hear and see me. Okay. Okay, sorry for that break. Okay. Okay, I'm glad it's working in. So, yeah, wherever we left off, Twin Flame Journey. Okay, more or less know. Okay, so let me know what else you want to ask about either the Twin Flame or the energy healing. Just post your questions and we'll just take it from here. Hi, Carolyn. Nice to see you joining on. Nice to have you here. Okay, so as I was mentioning, fire away with your questions. Right now, we were just talking about balancing twin flame energy, energy work, energy healing, being a healer. So post away, ask your questions. I'll share with you whatever I can, anything related with spiritual development. If there's something I'm unable to share or answer with you, I do have resources for that. I have people that can get that information from, or I can put you in touch with them. Also, online groups you're looking for. So, Mel, not sure if I fully answered the question, but feel free to continue. I don't mind if we probe and dig deeper and get more into detail with what we were talking about. Okay. So no problem at all. I mean, there's only a couple of viewers on. It's usually pretty quiet. So lots of opportunity to ask questions. No problem at all. And some people also, when they join in, sometimes they just like to watch and learn and listen. Not everybody has questions. So people also learn from your own questions. So if you have questions, people learn from them. Some like to just absorb the information and watch and learn. So feel free to ask whatever you need to. Yeah, no problem at all. That's what I do. Like I said, I do a lot of teaching, mentoring, reading. So if you have more questions, please share. If you have other topics, please share as well. Okay. Carolyn, you probably know a lot of answers yourself anyway. So Carolyn is also very open. She has her own style and picks up on other things and energy. So like I said, some people just want to watch and absorb, so that's fine. So Mel, if you have other questions, feel free. Fire away. And if you know anybody else who's looking for some resources or wants to join the lives, have them visit my YouTube page and hit the subscribe button so they get notified when I do go live, and they can ask whatever questions they need. You can also join me on Thursdays. I do live messages on Thursdays on Facebook. So please spread the word and share. I like connecting with new and different energies from all over the world, really. So the more, the better. So if you have questions, please post. Go ahead. We've got lots of time. Sundays are usually, that's why I do it on Sundays. So I'm not rushed or anything. I usually just stay online until there are no more questions. So sometimes there isn't really anybody that has questions. It all depends, but it's pretty quiet today. So yeah, feel free to ask whatever else you got going. I'm happy to cover all sorts of topics in one session. It doesn't matter. So anything that's generally or vaguely related to spirit, energy, guides, angels, that kind of thing. I'm happy to share whatever I can, whatever I'm able to. Okay, let's see. More in the divine feminine, they work in the 3 chakras. Is there a way to connect better with this other than Reiki. So you want to connect with your higher chakras. So you probably already know how to meditate. For me, meditation is the most valuable tool. Higher chakras, more in the divine feminine. Okay. So basically, your lower three chakras are more orientated to your physical environment, your 3D living on this planet. Your higher chakras are when you sort of transcend your earthly physical concerns and you go more into your higher self. Meditation for me is hands down one of the best tools to help you do that. Reading people's energy is when you're using your third eye, your higher chakra, speaking your truth. So being authentic and having the right intention at all times. That's throat chakra. That's also higher chakra. So throat, third eye, and crown are your upper three chakras. So when you are authentic, both verbally, your thoughts, how you express your actions, then you're in alignment over here. Third eye is when you're tapping into spirit, doing energy work, whether it's healing or reading energy. Your crown basically is not something, your crown chakra is different from the others in that you don't have to try and balance it out. It always is exactly the way it should be. It's more like an opening or entry point that allows divine source energy, divine light to come through you and enter you and connect with you. So the crown chakra is not something you have to balance. That's just more like your opening or your connection. Hope that helps answer your question, Mel. But like we can dig deeper if you're wanting to ask more. You can also ask kind of side questions connected with that, or ask in a different way. But let me know if that fully answered your question. Okay, and hi to Amy. So Amy, at the moment, we're pretty much answering this general Q&A, info sharing, anything along the lines of spiritual development, guides, angels, energy, meditation, intuitive Reiki, energy healing. The only thing I'm not doing today is channeling psychic messages from your guides or from departed loved ones. That is on Thursdays on my Facebook page. So you're welcome to connect with me on Facebook every Thursday. It's every Thursday at 7 p.m. Toronto time zone. That's where I channel psychic messages to some of the people tuning in. I'm randomly guided to some of the names of the viewers. But today, it's not messages. I'm not channeling messages from the other side. It's just Q&A info sharing. So you're welcome to ask anything along the lines of, I think I put it in the description, like what I just mentioned, energy work, angels, guides, how to connect with them. So no problem at all, Amy. You're still welcome to ask any questions related to that. Just not channeling today, but that's on Thursday. So if you subscribe to either the Facebook page and also the YouTube channel, you'll get the notification when the live begins. Facebook's always 7 p.m. Thursday, but on Sundays, the YouTube, it's roughly between 4 and 7 p.m., but it's not always the same time I do it. So if you subscribe, you'll at least get notified when the live begins. I try to give a heads up on Facebook. So I hope that clarifies. Carolyn, how do you close your chakra? So basically, it never closes completely from my understanding because you're always connected to the divine or source. What I use is I'm a visual person, so I just visualize the crown of my head sort of closing down more, just being less sensitive and absorbing of all the energies around me. So I like to use the image of a lotus flower when its petals open and close. You can use whatever visual you like. So I just use a visual and my mind's intention. There are probably other ways, but that's how it works for me. Hi, Joanne. Okay. May I ask a question? You want to connect with spirit? Only happened a couple of times. Okay, so when you say connect to spirit, only happened a couple of times. So depending on when it happened, did it happen sort of just randomly, sporadically without you trying, or did it happen during meditation? Reason I'm asking is you can intentionally do it during meditation if you practice meditation enough. The more you do meditate, the better you get at it. So you can connect with your guides and source during meditation. You basically set the intention and you just practice your connections. If it just happens to you randomly, sporadically, depending on how intense it is, it could be like a Kundalini awakening. I haven't personally experienced that myself. Mine's been through intentional connecting. But some people have randomly just been caught off guard and had a Kundalini experience. Or they have a vivid dream or astral travel. But so if you want to do it intentionally, you can get into a meditative state and ask to connect with Gatekeeper or your angels or source, whoever you choose, and just strengthen that connection. So the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's like a psychic muscle. So whether you're working a physical muscle or your psychic muscle, consistency is what makes you better at it. Okay. And the more energy you do, the better you get, and the more connected you get. So it's like if you can get rusty, same as meditating. If you stop meditating, you get a bit rusty, and then you have to get back into it. But you can do that at any time. Visions happened when you were getting a couple of Reiki sessions. Okay. So you were receiving Reiki sessions and a sound bath. So, yep, depending on if the channel was really strong, things could have opened up in you that you either needed to hear or release or heal from. So nothing's by coincidence. You could have either needed to release something, you could have needed a healing, you could have just needed to be aware of some information. Okay, so you have had one Kundalini. Okay, well, that's something I haven't had. So I would have, I'd love to have that too. Not everybody does go through that. It's every soul journey is sacred, and everybody's journey is unique. So people experience energy in different ways. But if you want to try and get back intentionally, like I said, meditation and more practice of energy work. That's the best way I know of. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Amy, if you're still there, hope to see you on Thursday. Thanks for joining the page. Yeah. Any other questions? Like I said, you ask as many questions as you can think of at the moment. If you think of other questions, next few days or week, try and take note of them and just bring them to the next live, and we can discuss then. So something comes to mind that's really insightful or you're interested in, just write it down, keep track of it. You could even try and get your own answer during meditation, but if it doesn't work, then just bring it to the live, and if I can answer it, I will. There are a lot of energy healers and psychics out there that aren't even completely aware that they can do that. Some of them just need basically some training or some mentoring. I was very fortunate to have a mentor, so I took spiritual development classes and mediumship classes. So I was lucky, but some people don't know, they don't even know that exists or where to go for that. So if you do know anybody who is like that or is not sure or thinks that either their mind's not right or there's something wrong with them, I do get that from time to time. Some people, they just pick up on spirit, they sense spirit, but they think there's something wrong with them, or they think they're imagining things, or there's something wrong with their mind, which there isn't. I can definitely help with that. I do teach group classes, spiritual development classes. I also do one-on-one mentoring, so I can help people with their gifts and learn how to handle their energy. Okay, let's see. So hope that's clear enough. But like I said, if you have more questions, I'll just stay on for a while longer. I don't mind. Sometimes I'm on for 10, 15 minutes. It's a couple of times it's gone on for like an hour. It all depends. So if there's more questions, we'll just go from there. Okay. The Kundalini was from my base to the top of my head. Yep. Yep, the Kundalini, it sounds like it was, in fact, that the Kundalini starts at the base tip of the tailbone and it spirals all the way up to the crown. This is just from what I've heard from other people who have had one. So your twin or your male counterpart okay. Yep, sometimes we just need to balance either some of the feminine aspects of our energy or some of the masculine. Everybody is both male and female energy anyway, so it doesn't matter what vessel, what body you're in, we're all energy, male and female energy. So it's not about gender or like sex. It's just masculine and feminine energy. So the energy that creates and does and takes action versus the energy that is more emotionally based and creative and passive. There's all sorts of aspects to energy. So it's not all just about being a male, a man, or a woman. Some people have both. It's pretty rare, but I once had the privilege of reading for what's known as a two-spirit. So a person that's androgynous, they're born with both physical male and female organs, parts, and they just have a more complex soul journey to deal with. There's all kinds of people out there with all kinds of energy. So everything is connected. Everything is on purpose. There's no accidents or mistakes. Okay, let's see. Okay, does anybody else have any other questions they want to ask? So if you do, not a problem. I will stay on a couple more minutes as long as if there are any other questions. I just want to make sure everyone's had a chance to ask whatever they need to ask. So it looks like it's just Mel and Carolyn here. So if you do have any other questions, post. I'll hang on another minute or two. I'm not sure what the delay is between posting your questions. It might be, sometimes it takes 30 to 45 seconds before the post pops up on the feed. I could be mistaken, but just to be sure, I'll just wait a minute. And if there are any questions, I'll take care of that. But if there isn't, okay. Okay, Mel, you would love a session of learning to hone my beliefs. Okay. You live close to, okay. Mel, I'm in Brockville. Are you in or around Brockville as well? Hone your skills. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely help with that. So I do one-on-ones mentoring as well. And I can do it in person. I do it from my home in Brockville in person, but I also do it over Zoom online. So whatever your preference is. Okay. So 30 minutes away. Yep. So at the very beginning of the comments, I posted my website. Actually, maybe I'll just put my email address as well. Actually, maybe you know what's probably easiest. Yeah, let me put my email address in the comments. And if you want to just send me a quick email when you have time, and we can schedule a time and a date. And okay, so okay, so there is my email. So yeah, we can schedule a time and work on honing your skills or beliefs. Definitely, we can do that. Maybe I think just if you want to. Okay, depending if you just want a one session on that, that's fine. I also do like a course on that. It's on my website. So beginning of the comments, my webpage is there. You can take a look at that and just have a browse. Actually, it doesn't specify the details, but I have a 10-session course, or if you prefer just doing sessions, or one session here and there, whatever you like. Just be in touch with me, email me, and I'll be happy to do that for you. Yeah, we can work out like I do weekdays and weekends as well. Have lots of availability. I can, I can accommodate if weekdays don't work. So yeah, there you go. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So any other questions? I'll just give it another minute or two before I close down. Unless there's more questions, I'm happy to answer more questions. But just let me know. Like I said, I'll just wait for a minute or two, just sort of in case there's a delay. No, not a problem. You didn't take over. Not a problem at all. Some people just either don't like asking questions or they're not sure what to ask. They just want to watch and learn, and that's fine. So this has definitely not been the busiest Q&A I've had. I've had busier, so not a problem. No problem at all. Yeah. Okay, so what else do you see when you work? Okay, so when I'm reading for people, I typically tap into either your spirit guides, sometimes angels, sometimes it's deceased loved ones you would have known, people you knew, like family, friends, neighbors, whatever. Sometimes I get information directly from your aura, your energy field. So I can get it from any of those ways. Every reading is different. It could be a combination of some of those. It could be just your own aura energy I'm reading. So basically, if the person's in front of me, depending on what the divine feels they need to hear in the moment, I'll tap into any one of those 4 sources or more than one. Some people need to hear from a departed loved one. They want closure. Others need some direction. So I either get their energy psychically, which is directly from them, their energy, or mediumistically, which is from an outside source, i.e. a deceased person or an angel or a spirit guide. I can do that. I occasionally, not as often, but I occasionally get deceased pets come through, animals, spirit animal totems, sometimes elementals like fairies and elves and pixies. I get a bit of that too. My strongest clairs are clairvoyance and claircognizance. So I get everything in my third eye. I have inner seeing. So clairvoyance is in my third eye. I see visuals, images, things like that. Claircognizance, the information just comes out of my mouth, and I'm not always sure how it got there, who put it there, but that's just it's like a inner knowing. You just know, but you're not always sure how you know. So that's what happens when I do readings. When I do intuitive Reiki, it's more I hover my hands a few inches above the body. Me personally, I don't do physical touch. Some Reiki practitioners do that. I don't. I sort of stay about a few inches from the body, starting from the crown to the feet. And sometimes I'll just feel and help balance energy. Sometimes I may get an intuitive hit or a bit of information that I need to relay or pass on. So that's why I call it intuitive Reiki. I just let them guide me. And if I'm meant to share anything, I do afterwards. So that's basically what I do, how I work. And then, of course, the mentoring is I just share knowledge and information on why people experience the things they do, how to manage their energy, how to manage the energies around them, and all other things that tie into dealing with energies and people and your own energy and your own self as well. Basically, so yeah, I can help people with their own stuff and also deal with other energies. So there's a little bit of a blurb on that on my website. So if you want, check it out. And has a little info about me. Yeah, anything else you want to ask? Go ahead. Do I feel effects of others' emotional energy? So I'm lucky. I'm not a true empath. So I don't feel the strain of other people's energy. I get an indication, but luckily I don't physically feel the pain or the sickness or the heartbreak of other people. I just get more of an energetic understanding of it. So I'm lucky that way. I don't suffer. I'm not a real empath, so I'm happy with that. If I do feel energy, it's not in a tough way. It's not hard for me to absorb or to process. So I'm fortunate with that. So yeah, lucky for me. Okay. Okay, so maybe you're more empathic, which is, I get a lot of clients like that. There are ways to help curb that. It takes practice, though, but there are ways. Technically, from what I've been told, you should be able to manage and protect your energy. Not 100%, though, but there are ways to improve it and strengthen your protection. And fortunately, there's a lot of ways you can do that. You can do it. There's no set ritual or specific way. Just learn to white light and bubble yourself. For example, if you're leaving the house, if you're going in your car, you can bubble your car. You can white light the roads you're on. You can put some extra layers of energetic armor around you if you're entering like a bar or a shopping mall or a busy place. It's also about your awareness, where your mind is at. So if you go into a building or public place well prepared and shielded up, and you're very present-minded, that'll help deflect a lot of lower vibes you don't want to latch onto you. But you can manage it to a point. And as long as you don't overdo it or burn yourself out doing too much energy work, then you should be all right. But I can help further with that as well. So I take it when you say by the end of the day, maybe you're taking energy also from work, depending on your work environment. If you're not in the best work environment, if it's a bit toxic, you're spending roughly 8 hours a day there, you're going to accumulate some energy. So some people find as they become more into their higher self, they struggle to do like a 9 to 5 or be in a toxic work environment. It becomes much more unbearable. But, I'm not sure where you're at with that. But if you have other questions, feel free. Like I said, I'll stay on for a few minutes more if you need. If you have other questions, otherwise, next time, if you remember them, if some come to mind during the week, or we can cover it with that session you want about working more with managing your energy, your skills. What I can also do, if you want, my mentoring topics, I can send you, it's like just a brief Word document that lists the 10 topics that I cover during my course. And if more than one, you can have a look at them and see if any others stand out or jump out at you that you might be interested in. I'll just send you the list anyway. It encompasses a whole bunch of different things that when you tie them together, it just makes a lot more sense and is a lot more helpful. So I'll send you that list anyway. Okay, hi Cherish, welcome. How did you come by your gifts? Okay, so I joined a meditation group about almost 15 years ago. And all I wanted to do was learn how to meditate so I could shut my mind up and be peaceful. That's all I was in for. So I joined a circle who also happened to be like a spiritual foundation that taught classes. So I learned how to meditate. I was one of the slowest people to learn. Eventually got that sorted out. And then I took the classes. Luckily, I took 3 years of spiritual development and mediumship classes. And then they decided to teach me energy healing, which I swore you wouldn't catch me dead doing. I was not interested in that. I ended up trying it and doing it anyway, but I wasn't interested. And eventually, luckily, I evolved more and woke up a bit more. And after the 3 years, the president of the organization asked me if I would teach one of the classes for them and teach natural law classes. And I did that. And then I joined the board of directors. And when I started doing messages, reading people's energy, they would give me feedback and validate things and people I didn't know. So I knew I wasn't making it up when people were validating that what I was saying was accurate. So when I realized what I could do, I just stuck with it and kept doing it on the side a little bit. I was kind of like a closet medium. And then eventually I did a bit more and more. And then about 6.5 years ago, I moved to a small city and had to give up my job, which I didn't mind. And I thought, well, let's give that a go. And that's all I do now. But I thoroughly enjoy it. So it kind of found me. I didn't go looking for it. It's not something I would have chosen. It just found me. So luckily I stuck with it, and that's all I do now. With the exception of I have a very small part-time job. It's only 1 hour a day at an elementary school. 1 hour a day, Monday to Friday, with kindergartners. So I love that too. I would do it for free. They do pay me, but I would do it for nothing. So basically, all I'm doing is energy work now, which I like doing. So that's how I kind of stumbled into it. It usually happens for a lot of people. It happens in time of crisis. If you're going through a crisis or are unhappy and can't fix things, and for me, it was something similar. I wasn't in a trauma crisis. I was more in a very, very dissatisfied, unhappy, stuck situation. So that's how I got into it. Interestingly, not everybody sticks with it, and there are a lot of healers out there that don't want to do it. They suppress it or they ignore it. They want to stay in the 3D and just do a regular job. That's fine. It's free will choice. So it's not always comfortable to do it, but the more you do it, the more natural it feels. For me, anyway, that's what I've found. Okay. And I'm not sure what time you jumped online, Cherish, but as I mentioned to others, I also have a YouTube channel where I do lives on Thursdays. That's always at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or Toronto time zone. That's live messages, channel psychic messages. That's every Thursday. So if you subscribe to that or the YouTube channel, you'll get notified at least when the lives begin. The Sunday YouTube thing, it's not always at 4 p.m. sharp. I try to do it between 4 and 7, and I try to post a heads up on Facebook, but Sundays can be a bit sporadic depending what's going on, but I do my best. So okay, interesting. I haven't heard that question well. So yeah, Cherish, I'm not in 3D, and it's not something I was able to figure out myself. My mentor actually informed me of that. So you're correct. I'm not in 3D. I have had a mentor that she's on her own playing field. She told me and explained to me about 3D. Most people are still 3D. Some of, and then there's a few that are 4 and 5. So yeah, I'm not 3D anymore myself. I can't tell I kind of have a rough idea. It's kind of easy to tell when someone's open and they're not 3D. I just can't distinguish if they're, say, 4D or 5D. You get the odd few that are even higher than that, but I wouldn't be able to distinguish. All I can tell is if they're mainly 3D or not, generally speaking, after spending some time with them. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? I'll just wait a minute, and if everybody's happy for now, if there's no more questions, then I'll jump off the live. If you think of any questions after the fact, just keep a note of them and we can cover the next live, not a problem. And yeah, please share or invite anyone else who's looking for this kind of connection, who wants to connect with someone that can help them with these kind of things, whether it's mentoring or healing or energy, psychic readings, or some online groups, some spiritual online groups, whatever you feel drawn to. Okay. Okay, it looks like everybody's happy for now. So I'm going to assume there's no more questions. I'll just give it another 30 seconds or so. I'm not sure how long, if there's any delay with the posts that come on. So I'll wait another minute, and if there's nothing, then I'll just close the live. Okay, thanks, Mel. So yeah, once you email me, then I'll send you that list I mentioned. And Carolyn, I'm not sure if you're still online or not. Cherish, thanks for joining. If you have any other questions or just want to read up more about me, Cherish, my website is at the very beginning of the comments. So you can read up more about me on my website. And from there, you can find my Facebook. And I do have an Instagram. I'm not very active on it, but every now and then I do go on an Instagram. So I have a couple of neat things on Instagram. There's one video I put up in the last 2 days that you might find pretty cool, where someone did a short clip of when I had a group development class at my home, and they put some nice, appropriate little music in the background, and it's a really cool video. So that's on my Instagram page if you're interested. Okay, Joanne. Hey, Joanne. Difference between an Ouija board and a pendulum. Okay. Pendulum is more basic. It's more for yes, no, maybe answers. A Ouija board is much more complex and detailed. I've never used one. Nothing wrong or bad. I have a bad rep. All I know about a Ouija board is unless you're very, very well trained and experienced to use it properly, I recommend not touching it. It's a powerful tool that can open up doorways and portals to all sorts of things, both good and bad. So like I said, unless you're very well trained, don't touch it. If you're trained the right way, it's a tool that can give you more accurate detail, like answers in words to your questions. Pendulums are more basic. Pendulums don't give you really much in terms of words. Usually I have understanding of basic pendulum work, and it's more for yes, no, and maybe answers, or no answer. It's more of a basic form, but Ouija boards, you go into detail. You get more words, more answers to that. So it's never the tool that's the problem, it's how it's used. So it's always based on the intention of the user. Intention is everything. So a Ouija board just happens to have a bad rep or a bad name. Generally, if it's been used in the past for evil, or if it's something that's very mysterious or unknown to a lot of people, fear causes people to consider things as negative or bad when they're not necessarily is the case. But hope that explains the difference, Joanne. So pendulums are more basic. You can also use them around parts of your body. If you, for example, ailments or things like that, once you get more trained and advanced in it, which I'm not, some people use them for physical conditions to see where they're at, pinpoint positions. But for me, tools and me don't seem to mix very well. I've just been guided to just connect telepathically or intuitively through the ether. Tarot definitely and me and tarot don't work. I try to learn it, but I'm not meant to use tools, but every medium is different. Some people use tarot cards and are very, very effective and do a great job with that. Everybody's different. Some are good with rune stones or crystals. So it's not the tool, it's the user. So hope that helps. Okay. We've had some really good questions on this live today. Really good questions. Okay. I probably need to put on a light here. It's getting dark. So, okay. So, are there any more questions? If not, then I'll probably jump off and end it now. Last call. I'll make it last call. Any other questions? We'll give it another 30, 40 seconds just to give you a chance if there is one. And like I said, if you think of something after the fact, just write it down, keep record of it, and we'll cover it next time. I also do private sessions, one-on-ones. So if you're wanting something that's more in-depth and detailed, I do my sessions in person and online as well. So okay, so 25 years is a long time, Joanne. So you're probably fine at this point. I don't see something lasting 25 years, but it may have done no harm whatsoever. So it's not always bad. It depends what comes through the board or the portal. So okay. Well, this has been pretty good. This is one of the better sessions we've had. We've been on for a good 55 minutes, which is pretty good. It all depends on who's got questions or not. Sometimes people just want to watch incognito and just learn. That's fine too. We've had a lot of good questions today. Okay. So, okay, thanks, Mel. Yeah, be in touch and I'll send you that list whenever you like. No rush, whenever you want. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the good questions as well. Okay, and Joanne, thanks for jumping on and joining us. And Cherish and Carolyn as well. We'll just call it a day and I'm going to close down now. But either join me next Sunday. I will try and give a heads up on Facebook. Like I said, maybe just subscribe button so that you'll get a notification, because Sundays I'm never really sure. I can't give an exact time. And yeah, so either join me Sunday or Thursday, Facebook. And thanks for all the good questions, some really good questions. And please share with anybody else who may be interested. So until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and hope to see you again. Bye for now.